Yo, what's good, everybody? How y'all doing? Here with another video. It was just something I was thinking about today, and I got some time right now before I head out of the crib, so I figured why not, shoot this little video. Uh, Excuse me if it's a little bit all over the place because I really ain't do no prep or nothing like that, and I'm gonna just freestyle the video off the top of my head. But pretty much the name, as you seen in the title, this is the video you gotta watch before you decide to buy a lowrider. Separately, I'm gonna do a build versus bot video. That's a popular topic in the community, but there's just some standard things that if you're looking to get into that whole, how I could say it, lifestyle community. If you're looking to buy a lowrider, you want to get into lowriding, check this video out and watch. So let's start off. Yeah, probably the first thing that everybody says when it comes to this is it's expensive. It's real expensive. And you might not realize it before you get involved, but the bills start adding up. I could say it's expensive. First, you gotta get the car. This is why I'm gonna do the build versus bot video too, kind of talk a little bit more on that stuff. But get the car, get the hydraulic system, get somebody to install it, reinforce the frame, the batteries. There's a lot of different aspects of it. But really, when it comes to anything in the car game, it's expensive. You're buying old schools and you're restoring them, or if you're buying them and they're already clean, you're still gonna have to fix something. No car is gonna be 100%. So unless it was already fully restored, and then you're gonna drop a huge bag on that car because the person before you already did everything. They fixed the carb in the motor, the AC, they did sound system, interior, paint, this, that, the other, rims. It all adds up. So first thing I was gonna say is that it's real expensive. So make sure your wallet's ready for it. I remember when I first got the car, I got an 83 Cutlass. I had first got it, and I was there, saving up money, working, saving up money, and saying, no, once I get this much bread, then I'm gonna go install the hydraulics on it. Once I get to this much saved up, I'm gonna go and get the hydraulics. Well, came to the point where I said, fuck that. And because I had the bread there, I just had money, I was saving up. I didn't want to touch it until I got to a certain point and then, go from there. But I lost my patience and I said, fuck it. Now that's a double-edged sword. I'm happy that I did it that way because who knows, things come up in life. And let's say I'm saving that money and, I don't know, something happens and I got to spend some of that money. So that now I got to wait until I get back to that, theoretical, hypothetical number to then go and buy my, hydraulic system, the whole kit, and get it installed and this, that, and the other. So the double-edged sword is with being impatient is that a lot of the times it could come out bad and you gotta redo shit. And then other times, no. So, it all depends, really. But what I'm trying to say with all that is that I'm glad I did it that way because I've already had it for a while now. And I've been enjoying it, taking it out, doing, hitting the switch a couple times, this, that, and the other. So I'm glad that I didn't wait until I got to that point. But obviously, I would recommend everybody out there, don't go spending all your life savings on it and then be broke and have a nice ass lowrider, but you don't got no bread to do like anything else in your life. That just doesn't make sense, doesn't add up. But also, it's kind of like the person who I took it to install everything and reinforce the frame and do all that stuff. He real good with his work, but he told me when I first came there and I told him, nah, I just want 3 pumps, 6 batteries, just be able to pretty much lay and play, but be able to 3-wheel as well. And he looked at me and he said, bruh, if I was you, I'll just save up the bread to go fully reinforce the whole frame, put more batteries in it, do a piston pump to the front, so that you can hop a little bit. Not competition hopping, nothing like that, but just so you can have fun. Because right now I'm gonna do the lane play for you. Yeah, it's good because this is your first low ride and you're just getting into it, but really it's all up to you. But it depends, you're gonna come back 3 months, 6 months, a year, 2 years later, and you're gonna say, I want to upgrade. Take out the one pump to the front, change that shit out for a piston pump, put the fucking gears in, this, that, the fucking third, the fucking dump, all that shit. And he was right. I gotta say he was right. But I'm still glad that I did it that way. I mean, maybe I could have saved some bread if I would have just saved up and told him, just from the jump, put two pumps to the back so I could three wheel, put the piston pump to the front so I could hop a little bit, reinforce the whole frame, this, that, and the other. Maybe I would have saved some bread. I for sure would have saved some time. But like he had told me, and like I just mentioned, it's my first lowrider, so I wanted to start getting used to it, getting comfortable with the car, with how it drives, because that shit do drive different. So that's another one of the points that I wanted to bring up. It doesn't drive like a regular car. you changing the whole suspension, you cutting it, and you adding, the different shocks and all that shit. So if you thinking you're gonna put hydraulics in your car and it's gonna drive like a fucking regular car, you got it fucked up. Now I know there's people out there that might argue that, and they'll say, put the fucking, I forget what the fuck they're called, accumulators, I want to say. I don't know. I don't remember what the fuck they are, but there's some shit you could fucking put on it where supposedly it drives better. I haven't tried it, so I can't say. I don't know. I'm not an expert on none of this topic. I'm just making a video as a beginner to other beginners or potential beginners, people that want to get involved in this, and just giving them a breakdown of things so they can make their own decisions and then go from there. I know a lot of people go real hard in this community and like, how I could say it, there's some people that do it as a hobby, like do it, for fun and stuff like that. And then there's other people that it's like their lifestyle, it's their life, So when it comes to that, you got to determine who you are, where you're going to be, and go from there. So to all the people that are watching this that are experts that have been low riding fucking 25 plus years and this, that, and the other, excuse me if I say some things that you might not agree with, but everybody free to their own opinion. That's the beautiful part of this world, specifically this country. So, and I'm not an expert in this topic. I am a beginner. I haven't even had my lowrider for a year. I'm just saying things so that people can know, what it is. But going back to what I was saying, it's not going to drive like a regular car. You got to get used to the way that it drives, the way that it is bumpy and shit on the roads. You hit a little fucking bump and shit, be fucking bouncing and shit like that. You got to get used to it. It's not a regular car no more. It's not regular suspension no more, none of that. It's going to drive different, so you got to get used to it. And going back to the other point that I was making, I'm telling you, I'm freestyling, so I'm going to be saying one thing and then say something else, leads me to something else, then I'm going to jump back to the other thing because I don't have none of this shit written down. The other shit I was saying was, let me see if I can fucking remember, because now I kind of fucking forgot. About saving up and then just doing the whole system that I wanted to do from the beginning. It would have been cool that way, but like I was saying, I needed to get used to everything, get my feet wet, just as a way of speaking, and get used to it and all that shit. I think now I'm good. And it's like he told me, you're gonna want more, I'm gonna do this for you because you're paying me enough, not free, obviously, but you're gonna come back 3 months, 6 months, a year later, 2 years later, and you're going to tell me, put this shit on, do this, that, the other, because it's never going to be enough. I asked him, how you know that? Like, why are you saying that to me? He said, because that's what happened with me. I started out, I just wanted this, let me just have some lane play and have fun with it. I got bored of that shit. I said, let me start hopping, started doing that. then I wanted to go higher, until I'm hitting bumper, and all this shit. He said it's never enough. You're never gonna be happy and satisfied because you're always gonna want more. I think that's really like a life lesson, honestly, in life with just humans and shit. Gotta be grateful, but I mean, he was right. I do want more. I love, riding in my car, lane play, go up, down, this, that, and the other, three wheel, ooh, ooh, one side, the other side, cool. But I'm getting that itch. The switch finger getting itchy, as they say. And I'm wanting to get them front wheels off the ground a little bit. So it is what it is. I'm going to start back to square one, saving up my bread. Once I get my bread, right, then I'll fucking pull up on him and say, yo, it's time. Do what you got to do. Put some more batteries in that bitch. Let's put the piston pump to the front. Change out the gear, all that shit. Put the other dump, all that. And let's get it cracking. But what I was also saying, I'm happy I didn't wait because I just got right into it. So really the most important things I would say would be having money. That's always going to be the number one. Because you got to have bread for this shit. It's going to get fucking expensive. Especially if the car ain't clean and you got to do other shit to it, which I'm going to do in the other video, the built versus bought. Aside from money, got to have time. It should take time, which also parallels, intertwines with patience. Not to be impatient. Do the shit, slowly, step by step. You get the car. I don't know. It all depends on how you want to do it. The way you want to do it, the order you want to do it in. Some people get the car, fix up this first, then put the sound, then do the hydraulics, or do it reverse, do the hydraulics, then the sound. That's what I did, and that's really why I'm waiting to upgrade the hydraulic setup that I have in my cars, because right now I'm focused on doing the music, and that shit bread too. Everything is bread. It all goes back to point number one, which is, so, gotta have money, time, and patience. What else I could say, really? To figure out if it's a hobby or if it's a lifestyle for you, how hard you're gonna go. Shit, other basic shit. Have somewhere to put it, preferably a garage, especially if you're here in South Florida where it rains like a motherfucker. Having a garage is definitely better than leaving it in the sun and shit like that too. What else I could say about getting into the lowrider game or lowrider lifestyle, whatever you want to say, lowrider community. I think that's pretty much it. Realistically, point number one is the most important one. Make sure that your bread is right. Yeah, I would say that's pretty much it. I can't really think of no other shit in this video. Already at like 13 minutes. So if I think of anything else, I might throw it into the built versus bought video. Because I can't really think of nothing else to put in here. So take care. Peace out. Until next time, check out all the other videos I got. I realized only videos I've done of my actual car, my lowrider, was when I was putting the rims on, and that was before I even had the hydraulic setup in there. So one of these days, I'll shoot a little video of the car, just show y'all how it all looks and all that shit, and probably do a little cruising video, do some three-wheeling and all that shit in the video, just to show people. It's nice though. It's a clean car. I love it. I don't drive it as much as I would like, because I have another car. That's my daily. So lately I've been driving it like this last week, which is really like the most I've driven it in a row. I think it's been like 4 days in a row now that I've been driving it. But alright, that's the other thing I would say. Some people do have lowriders as their dailies. Other people don't. I think it all depends on what you're trying to do. But my recommendation, if you're a beginner and you're just getting into this shit, is have your daily driver, and then have your lowrider for whenever you want to ride, on the weekends, or if you want to take it out a whole week straight, whatever the case may be. But to me, having a lowrider as a daily driver isn't necessarily practical. But I'm sure like I said, there's other people that have been lowriding way longer than me that might disagree with that and say, no, mine's my daily driver. I don't have no problems with it. And that's cool. Congrats to you, and I'm happy for you. But my recommendation to people just getting into this shit would be have your daily driver and then have your lowrider. Point number one all goes back to point number one. Make sure that bread up. All right, I'm done here. Peace out. I'll do another video later. Show y'all the car and all that shit. And yeah, peace.